Alright folks, welcome back. Today's video is actually something different. About twice a year, I do a little board game video, just every 6 months, nothing too crazy. Today we're going back to this giant monster, the infamous name of the GloomHaven. I've done some box openings and some discussion on these board games in the past, and this is one of the newer ones called Jaws of the Lion. Nice little mercenary going after the treasures and quests kind of little expansion. But it's actually kind of, I consider it an expansion, but you kind of play with it by itself. You don't need anything else to play. Before I go into this unboxing and talk about this, and a couple important things. Number one, this is not going to be a how to play video, although we'll probably go over a lot of that stuff. All GloomHaven type of games are very complicated. They're massive games. Crossovers and fields of Dungeons and Dragons, old school Hero Quest fields with maps, and it's a wild thing. Again, if you're into board games and trying different things, that I always highly recommend you try them out. Next thing, no, the company did not sponsor me where I'm being paid thousands of dollars. I didn't receive any cash to actually make this video. But because I've actually done GloomHaven in the past, I did get this nice little board game. I did not pay for this one little demo copy that I'm actually going to show you guys. But no, I did not receive a bunch of money to make the video. So make that very clear. No cash was received, although maybe I should start asking for like tens of thousands. Can I do that? Anyways, so we're going to go into it. I'll do a little box opening. I'm going to talk about some pros and cons and why I like these kind of different types of board games. And specifically, my God, the weight of these things are insane. This is what the overall box looks like. A lot of things I really like about it. There's certain things I don't really like about it, and we'll go through that. But overall, it is a fun product. And if you want something different with your friends from just the CCG world, this is definitely a fun little change of pace, everybody. You ready? Here we go. Alright, so this pretty much, all I did was take the wrapper off. This is an unplayed, unused board game here. Okay, there's nothing's been punched out and done. So if you ever try playing something like this, this is literally how you would receive the package from the company or the store you buy it from, or your LGS if you still have those in your area. This was first thing, this caught my attention. They actually have an app now. So instead of reading your quests and like certain updates in the game, like you can have it professionally read and certain background music to really add to it. I didn't actually try it out. I don't know if they charge for that, but if not, that's actually kind of neat. I've never seen that before. All right, so here we go. So we're going to get into this. So first thing, when you look at a product like this, I always like to look at the quality and go through the details of everything. That's kind of how I like to unbox and review things. So you have your main scenario book. Essentially, the way the game works is you start off, you read your kind of introduction here, and you get a little reward just for reading it. And the reward is pretty much the first level, kind of on the map, which we'll show you a little bit. In this book, this is the thing that kind of surprised me. The book is actually your map. This isn't like a book like a dungeon master would hold and read. That's the game map. Like you put this on the table, this is what you play on. You put the monsters, this is the full thing within the book. So we're going to come back to that. I thought that really was a little bit of a shocking scenario. And then some other supplemental, especially towards the end here. Some of the maps are so big, you would add this onto the other page. And some little extra details. So it has instructions. This thing is really wild. Like when we dig through this box, like look at the size of this. Like check this out. This is really some crazy stuff. So welcome stuff, basic things, nothing there. I'm going to put that off the camera. Of course, learn to play. Here's the monster instruction manuals. I'm going to be very honest with everybody. If you're in a hurry, you're not really looking to learn details and really immerse yourself in these type of games, they're not going to be for you. These are the type of games, as with all these GloomHaven series, and this is, I consider Jaws of the Lion an expansion. Jaws of the Lion is kind of like the name of your characters, it's like your group. You're like these for-hire mercenaries going through these, these quests. It's kind of the term. Although, like I said, you don't need anything else. You just have this. This is the game by itself. It's not an expansion to another game, even though it's part of the GloomHaven series and kind of the theme. I think it takes place like during the other ones or right before the other GloomHaven games, technically with a storyline, the lore, if you're into that kind of thing. So these things have a lot of rules. They're very, very complicated. I'm going to kind of review some of it and just kind of give you guys my opinion. Glossary, if you want to know what certain terms and certain things are. Again, full color pages, details about characters. Now, this is the interesting thing. Let me get the actual map here. It's probably at the bottom. So, like I was telling you guys, this is the map of the world. I kind of overview map, maybe something like that, if you're into Final Fantasies and different old Secret of Manas. So what's interesting is when you look at your scenario books, I thought this was fascinating. So just for starting the game out, you unpack it all, you set everything up, you read your introduction, you get your little reward scenario, which is location 1, which is your first quest kind of thing, and you put it at B1. So you have these stickers, and this is interesting. So you would literally take the first sticker 1, and you would put it on B1 on the board over here, B1 right here, and it would be your location. Now, the good thing about that is it kind of reveals the name of a little area. Like if you look at that, it kind of reveals Roadside Ambush is the name of the quest. You would put it right here, and it kind of goes over with the name. And you're like, okay. So you don't really know what the other quests are, where they're located kind of thing in the world of GloomHaven. The thing I don't like is that these are stickers. Once you do it one time, and you kind of peel this off, and you kind of do, you really can't, I'm not going to put it on here, this particular copy, because this is kind of one I'm using just to kind of demonstrate everything, and I'm not really playing the game right now, I'm just demoing it to you guys. You can't really redo it or replay it with a new group of friends or sell it to a store. It's kind of a one-way street once you stick all these things on there. That was the biggest thing I kind of want to comment about that really caught me off guard. I don't know how I feel about that. Especially for someone who likes to collect things and redo things and reuse the playability. So again, now we're into a bunch of punch sheets. I'm not going to go into details. You pretty much have your different character names and monster names. You got some of these little fun demolition pieces. You got different monsters. You punch them out and put them on little stands. You got all these. I mean, and the quality of these things is always very good. One thing, the GloomHaven in this company, what's the name of the company that makes it? Cephalofair? I'm terrible with that. Okay. Jeez, no wonder I'm not sponsored. So they have a lot of different characters, and they got little numbers in the characters, 1, 2, 3 for the different you'll see it in a little bit. And then items, and then of course more different characters and monsters. And I really like the quality though. Look how thick the quality of the cardboard is. It's actually very well printed. It's centered nicely. There's not a lot of issues. I don't see any printing or centering issues. You guys can these little treasure things for the maps. These are condition modifiers for characters or monsters. And here's little damage tokens over here to give you an idea. Big damage tokens. I guess you can count those for like 5 or 1s if you want. Some little board pieces. So that's it for that. So now when you get inside of here, is this the best way to look at it? You have your official thing. Look at this. This would be what you would use to put all your sheets and items in once you're done. And pretty much here's the stands to all those monsters. So on the boards, you would take your characters, you would put a little white or yellow stand at the bottom of the monster, and you would put that on the map. The white is a regular monster. Yellows, if you're from the world of Diablo or something, those would be considered like elite mobs. That's how I kind of look at it. I thought what was interesting too is in this particular one, they actually pre-make your little items here. Some of the other board games I've seen and played in my past years ago, they kind of had you make you build these things. So this actually come pre-made. It's kind of nice. So again, obviously the red is the health of the particular character you're playing. And I don't remember, is this like some sort of mana or magic or something? But I know the red is the health. I can't remember. All right, so now when you look at the actual box here, you got basic stuff. What do we have here? Looks like some boss, some cards, and combat modifiers, some storage bags. We've got here, what, decision cards? Scenario option 1 or 2 on what you're, okay, yeah, scenario cards, I call them that. You got little cards down here for gameplay. You can see them. Lose a card, damage related. What is this? We got little item cards down here. And of course, what do we have here? It looks like combat modifiers for plus or minus when you're combating for characters and monsters. We got ourselves the nice, okay, this is a fun thing. I think I remember talking to you guys about this in another one a long time ago. Do you guys remember this? Does this look familiar to anybody? Let me, I'll kind of give you guys a fun little demo thing. So for example, actually we'll do that in a minute. Let's finish going through this. So for example, these red ones are like like kind of main bosses. You're not supposed to open them or look at like the boss until you get there. So they kind of want you to be surprised on that. These are your 4 characters that you can choose from. Personally, I like the bomb guy, also known as the, what's his official term? The demolition bomb dude. I call him like the guy who throws the bombs, blows up walls. I think that's the coolest. So, for example, you can kind of open. And again, the characters, I know people customize and paint them and do all kinds of things with minis, but that's what they look like. I mean, they're pretty detailed for just kind of a plastic thing, but overall, again, not colored or anything, but a lot of people like to do that on their own independently. I always felt board games, there should be like an option or something to have like the characters really, I don't know, pre-made or fancy or painted or something, you know. But I know a lot of people in the mini board game world, they love to customize and do their own characters. Speaking of that, same thing. You can choose 4 character classes. You got 4 character books over here, you see. And so we'll top one here, like I was just saying. Your little demolitionist dude, that's my fave. And when you look at the little thing here, I'll show you guys what it looks like. So if you want to take a peek, inside of this is another one of my little quirks that I'm like, this is your character card? Why do you only get like 3 sheets? Like, how are you gonna, like, what if other people want to play or you want to start a new game with different, like, there's only like 4 sheets of paper included? I thought that was a little weird. I thought the pad should have been a little bit more. I thought that was a little stingy on the paper. So again, inside of here, little things. Don't open it until you're directed to. And then, of course, over here was this upgrade card. Yeah, when your character reaches higher levels, you can see upgrades, makes your character stronger. For the, oh, I did get it right, demolitionist. I kept thinking it was like the bomber guy or something. And, of course, some little stat modifiers. And like in video games, for a lot of you guys, like if your character's poisoned or if your character's immobilized so they can't do anything, different things like that. And then here's your combat modifiers, same thing, where you flip it if you're attacking. You know, if your character attacks for, I don't even know, a 2, this something like this, you would draw a card, and sometimes it's +0 or -1 or 2 or +3. And this is your character card. So this is the Demolitionist, a pretty neat looking card. As I said, like it looks so cool, and they give you like this like basic gray figure. And I've always thought, why can't we have like a really expensive detailed character, even as an option include? I always, like they make them look so neat. And I know, everyone says, well, Rudy, we like to customize our own, I know. Well, anyways, your character card over here, you can see you can store your lost cards, discards to the left. And down here, it shows you, by the way, if you still remember this, so if you start the game, if you're level 1, your health is 8, so you would start at 8, for example. So, boop, 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 boop. So that would be kind of where you would start, and you would store your items. And of course, if you're poisoned or immobilized, you would put a little token there to represent that. Kind of gives you an idea there. So I want to comment on kind of something else before I kind of give my overall kind of, you know, I kind of really like the details and the quality, but there's just certain things. Like I always complain about the gray figures being so cheap looking. I always complain about not giving much of this. And then my other little pet peeve that I always like on, well, first let's go to this now. So for example, if you start this thing and you actually want to play with your friends, you would pull it to your first level right here, okay? It's a hexagonal thing. It's kind of the board map. This kind of reminds me of like a Hero Quest type of... Sorry, I was a huge Hero Quest fan back in the day, everybody, so I always bring that up. It just kind of is what it is. There's a lot of board games that operate on this hex thing. It's a very popular system for using movements and creating worlds in modern time board games. So, for example, if you're going to play this with your friends, you would have your characters. These are the entrance little marks over here. I guess I can put a little closer for you guys here. So, again, you would start over here. And again, what I thought was cool was like the little, again, I call him the bomber guy, but the demolitionist, he can blow up the things in the way, and you can actually mark those and go through them after they blow them up. I was, you know, it was kind of something I really liked. So we'd start here. Your quest of the goal is to kill all the monsters in here. You got these Vermling Raiders is the name of the monsters in this particular quest right here. And so you can see at the top, Vermling Raider. So you would have these on here. So what you would do is you're saying, okay, well, how does all that work? I know a lot of people watch this channel, they haven't done any board game related things. So first of all, you would find, before you set up everything, you would find Vermling Raider dudes. Do we have it in here? We do have it in here. There it is, Vermling Raider. So you would take this dude, give everybody an idea, you would put it inside this sleeve, and it creates this kind of surprising scenario. So it would show if you have a regular, and you can see how there's like a white or a yellow. The white would be the left side for regular, and yellow would be like an elite mob, as I always call them. And those would be the stats. So again, he get 5 health points. It would attack for 1, melee combat, and of course, I'm sorry, not attack for 1, attack for 2. And then of course, you can see the higher health for the elite on the side there. And of course, you got your 1, 2, 3 here, which would represent the, where's the token set? There they are. So on these guys, and you would represent the 1, 2, 3. So you would be able to keep track. If they survive and they have little damage counters, you would put them on there. So I always thought it was kind of neat how you can you move this and how this little paper thing displays it. And it was just something I always thought was a very well-engineered idea of how they created these things for a way of tracking and showing numbers with just a piece of paper and a sleeve. I thought it was really creative. And of course, just a reminder, those would be the The white would be the base and the yellow would be the elite. So I thought that was pretty cool. One thing, I know. One thing that's still kind of, I'm not the greatest fan of is the fact that the book is your kind of map, your world layout here. I don't like how the spine of the book interferes with the certain tiles. And I know they always try to put the spine like kind of spaced at the edge of two tiles here, so it's not in the middle of a tile, so it doesn't really fully impact it. But I just don't like how, you know, visual eye appeal, how it breaks up the world there. That's always my thing. It's just a personal thing. I wish, so for example, on like some of these maps, like here, the first one, you enter the world, you're on the roadside ambush, you got these monsters, your demolitionist guy can even blow up some of these little rocks over here, and you can walk through them, but at the end of the day, you win this quest by removing the monsters and killing them. It tells you at the top, goal, kill all enemies, and then if you do that, you get to reward, you get to the go-to level 2 area, and of course you would go back to your sticker map, and level 2 would be a hole in the wall, which would be level 2 on the map. So then when you go to level 2, a hole in the wall, this time you would start over here, you would move through the actual world here, you'd have the different monsters. The goal here is to kill all the enemies, and of course if you do, your reward and conclusion. And on this one, you actually have some treasure on the map, and you even have, looks like some traps, and you can even have some loot with some money. You can see the little loot spots and everything. On this one, you can see there's a door here, and these are more obstructions that the actual demolition can blow up these things, and you can walk through them. And again, I know I can see how they tried to place the world map in between the spines, so it didn't really interrupt very much, but that's just my personal thing. That's all. Like here's a really good one here. Like on this particular map here, you all start out here on like this dock, the black ship here. And you know, you have to enter this nasty wooden old boat here through this entrance over here. So you come through here, you got some nasty monsters right here, these little zealot monsters, you got some snake viper guys inside. Now when you come inside of here, you got some rough terrain, you got holes in the boat and everything. And it's just, it kind of, I don't know, I feel like this white spine really interferes visually and psychologically with the board state, but that's just me being picky. You know, I just wanted to lay that out there. And then, because I guess, you know, when I see certain other ones here, like here, okay, here's a good example. The map layout is page 8 and 9. You see this? Page 8 and page 9. But you also have page 3 in the supplemental scenario book. So here we go. This is a good example here, folks. Is this page 3? It is page 3. So page 3, see the layout? So page 3, this would actually go like this. You guys see this? It would actually, technically, this is the full level. You would put it like this, okay? So you would actually start over here, and the goal, if you can see it, destroy all summoning stones and kill the enemy. So you'd have to go through the map as you go down here, and there's the summoning stones, by the way, and the enemies. See how it kind of, you can line up the page? I know the colors are a little off on the camera, sorry. But see how, I don't know, it feels like it's a lot better than having this, like, I don't know, virtual wall in the middle of the map. That was my only thing, and I know it's very minor, but that's just kind of my perspective on the game. Overall, again, all of these type of GloomHaven fancy type of games, including this little Jaws, I don't know, it's an expansion, but it's not, because expansion means you have to have the original. They're fun. It's something different to play. If you're a Pokemon, Magic, Flesh and Blood, Yu-Gi-Oh dude, it's a change of pace. It really is. And I always felt that these board tabletop games are a nice long, like you get together every Friday with your friends or once a month, and you kind of continue to play an extra 1 or 2 quests, and every time you meet up, and it's something you can continue for like 3 to 6 months. And I thought that's kind of a cool thing, man. I think it's a kind of, I think people need more real world social things and getting together, actual communication and being around people, not just social media where it's all fake and no one does anything. And I think stuff like this is a good thing. It's very nice to see these type of products and these type of games still existing into the future. And by the way, look at these quests towards the back, man. These things get wild. Some of these rooms, look at these things, how crazy it looks. You know, it's just a nice thing, and I just wanted to share. Like I said, I used to be a big board game fan when I was younger. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to really enjoy board games like I used to. When I retire in the future, I really hope to go back to enjoying a lot of this stuff with friends, but that's all I have overall. You know, for a single price purchase of a board game, for the amount of enjoyment you get out of it, it's just something I think everyone should take the time and enjoy at some point in their life. They're good products, just because I'm picky on little things with like my little board thing. You know, it's just my personal opinion. But Thanks for watching. We had a little change of pace today. As always, hope you're enjoying your life. Have a great day, everybody.